As the Occupy rally spread out nationwide, USD's Political Economy Club has been following the movement. Live reporter Teresa Johnson is at the muck with the club's president, Kelly Wismer.
The Occupy Vermilion movement has not only been gaining political attention, but also economic attention. Kelly Wismer, can you tell me a little bit about an economic standpoint of the Occupy Vermilion?
Sure. We've actually just started meeting again this year as Political Economy Club, so our discussions on the issue of Occupy Wall Street and Occupy Vermilion have really just started to get rolling, and I'm sure that we'll get to learn a lot more in the coming weeks and have a lot more productive discussions about it. But thus far, there is no denying that there is a large disparity in wealth as far as poor individuals getting poorer and the rich getting richer, and that's what Occupy Vermilion or Wall Street, the Occupy movement in itself, is all about. They're frustrated and they're looking to those who have the ability to make change to make those changes.
Okay, and the protesters claim that 10% of the population controls 80% of the wealth. Would you say that this is indeed a huge economic problem for America, or is it being over-exaggerated by protesters?
I guess I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm not sure where their numbers come from as far as who controls most of the wealth in the nation. I know that there are plenty of different figures that are similar to that out there, and it depends on which portion of that you stand in as far as whether or not you think it's a problem. It's the reason that Occupy Wall Street or Occupy Vermilion people think that this is a problem is because they're seeing the negative effects of it. They're not seeing jobs being created that can help them. They don't feel like an honest day's work equals an honest day's pay. So because of their frustrations, I think they're looking for a place to almost put blame, or looking for those who have the ability to make changes, and that's their frustrations with their thought that small percentage of Americans control such a large percentage of the wealth.
Okay, and kind of going along with that, a lot of critics of the protests say that it's a movement without direction. From an economy standpoint, what do you think, what kind of solutions could you offer them to give their protest a little bit more direction?
At this point, I think that it will become, it has a lot of facets, very multifaceted, and I think that over time that will narrow down a little bit. In order to be heard and probably be taken more seriously by policymakers, they do need to be more directed in what they would like to see done. However, the purpose of a protest isn't to supply the solution. It's to point out the problem and say that they're upset. And they know exactly what they're upset about. So in that sense, I think that they're serving their purpose.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Back to you.
Thanks, Teresa.